What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to a viewer request video right here with the Magnum Patton. Something I've been working on for quite a while now, but you know, I've been promising you guys to bring this video because you requested it in the comment section, not just one person. It was like a very often appearing request, so that's what the Battle Rec account is for, so let's have it, right? The thing is just that it took me so long to create because it's really hard to get some really good footage with this Patton. I don't know why. Maybe, I think it's just because he's too slow. He's not really, you can't enforce the combat. Like, for example, with a fast bot, you can enforce the encounter or select encounters that you want. With this slow Patton, you can't really choose encounters. You just have to take whatever comes up to you, right? So it's hard to get into the situation where basically you are completely ignored. You can just fire at enemies for a long time and deal a lot of damage. And because if you're being fired back, you know, the Patton is just gonna die very quickly. He doesn't really have too much health. However, he does reach quite a good amount of firepower here with these 4 Magnums, level 11 by the way. I've written down here the damage, 1,860 damage per shot of each Magnum, right? And that's just level 8 Mark 1. You can of course go much higher with this at Mark 2 and level 12 and whatnot. But yeah, this is how far I've got. And in this sequence right here, and that's what I've, you know, been trying to tell you guys, that I cannot really give you like one round where I play one of this Patton for like 10 minutes. Doesn't work. I just keep dying with it, right? But sometimes I have some good moments with it, and those moments you're gonna see a lot in this video right here, like many sequences in a row. Here I was very much allowed to basically just fire and damage enemies without taking too much heat myself. And that was pretty cool, something that didn't really happen too often to me, that I was just allowed to fire at enemies and they would just be busy with something else in the meantime, right? And yeah, so this shows you how much damage the bot actually does. Look at this Griffin right there. I suppose it's a relatively well-leveled Griffin, but there's like, how much is it? 2, 4, 8, 7, 8,000 damage every like second or so, or more than once a second even. And it really has a good amount of firepower. It's something that you shouldn't underestimate. When this guy fires at you, you really don't want to ignore him, because it will get through your shield or whatever very quickly. That's what I noticed when I fire on Ancelots. I don't do damage at first because the physical armor plating is there for a few seconds, but it doesn't really take very long to get through this frontal armor plating, and I'll be able to do some damage really quickly with this. It's not quite as much damage output as, for example, the Plasma Griffin does with 2 Tarans on top of 2 Magnums. But it's continuous. It's like all the time, right? There is no reload between the shots, and that really, when this Patton is allowed to just fire and fire and fire, that's when it really shines, because of no reload here. And yeah, so there are a bunch of really good situations coming up in this video. It's gonna be a longer one, with you know, because I've been collecting them for quite a while now, so I can make this video really good. If I do something, then I want to do it good. Like you guys making a request, I'm gonna try to make it as best as I can, right? And yeah, also we will have the encounter Plasma Griffin against this Magnum Patton right here, and you will probably be amazed to see the result. This is not the encounter here, I'm just gonna get whooped real quick, but I'm gonna show you an encounter where you'll probably be amazed how much, you know, competitiveness this little Patton actually has against the major damaging Plasma Griffin there. So here we are already through the frontal armor plating. See how fast that Lancelot goes? Of course I've taken more damage because I don't have a physical armor plating on top of that, but you know, it really is, it didn't take very long to get through the shield, the physical shield of the Lancelot there. And here again, we're firing at this guy. He's walking towards us, but we're out of Orcan weapon range. I'm walking away from him so that he will never get into his Orcan weapons range. And see, we're already through the shield. And now he's starting to take a lot of damage. And see how quickly he goes, right? And keep in mind, this is like, these enemies are mostly like Champions League players. This is not just level, I don't know, level 6 equipment or so. No, those guys are mostly level 11, 12, somewhere around this. And those Magnums are also just level 11, right? And it's really interesting to see how much damage potential it has. And of course, keep in mind, the Magnums, they don't miss you, right? They just always hit you directly. Unless you have this bug where somehow some of the shots just go ghost shell or something. I don't know what happens there. But normally they hit, right? And they do quite good damage there. this Terran Rogatka is coming around the corner, and I'm pretty sure that I have more firepower than the Rogatka with Terrans when this Patton has 4 weapons available. Right now we only had 3, of course. Now this is going to be a very, very interesting situation, guys. We're spawning here with this Patton to defend the beacon. I knew that there was this carnage with the Zeus coming up because I already was killed before by him, and I don't know what I was using before, maybe my dock or something, and now he's coming up and I realize, uh-oh, see, it's 2 people. They're together. It's 2 guys coming and attacking this beacon, and I'm alone. No one is bothering to defend this beacon other than me now. And we have a Plasma Griffin jumping around the corner, admittedly not doing the most precise aiming shots here, but look how fast he gets destroyed. Man, this is absolutely insane. This is so much firepower. Now we've gotten rid of this guy, and of course the Zeus Carnage comes around the corner, fires one more time, but I'm just gonna get right through his shield and get rid of him. 2-on-1 situation cleared, beacon defended, amazing job done by this little Magnum Patton. Really, really good, man. I did not think to get rid of that Plasma Griffin so fast, to be honest. And I'm even somehow allowed to deal some additional damage here into the flank of these enemies while they are just kind of ignoring me for, let's say, 10 seconds or so. And, yeah. Although this doesn't really fit too well into the Patton video, I'm just gonna have this quick sequence with the dock right here because I just loved it. I was switching back and forth with the weapons, just focusing on targets, just emptying the clip with the Orcans here really quick, then switching to the Punishers, which deal 912 damage per bullet. They fire 8.1 bullets per second. Each one of those Punishers have 220 shots in the clip, so they can deal 220 times 912 damage. So one of those Punishers can pretty much deal 200,000 damage itself. Mark II level 12 medium-sized Punishers, right? So a really, really interesting situation, and a few facts that I just written down here. Arjun Borani, Borani asked me to give you guys the damage statistics of the shots, not just giving you the level, but also giving you a little bit of an insight and you know, information about each shot, how much it damages. And yeah, so it's interesting to see how much damage potential is inside of one of those medium Punishers, right? It's amazing. And that also brings up the question, how would the Patton be if we would put Mark II level 12 Punishers on it, the small ones, right? It has a lot of damage potential too. But more to that later. This is the situation where we fight the Plasma Griffin too. Another Plasma Griffin, highly leveled up, coming around the corner, firing everything he's got at us while we fire everything we've got back at him. And I'm pretty sure, I was unable to check at the end, or I forgot what level he has, but I'm pretty sure his stuff was level 12 all the way, and I only have a level 10 Patton with level 11 Magnums, right? Keep that in mind. And he almost lost this one. Really interesting. And yeah, look at this guy. He's jumping smartly right into the line of fire, just getting killed like a drive-by shooting. He just basically killed himself there. That is going to be an interesting, funny intro sequence, just by the way. I need to work it out first. But here, look how much damage we do. We just killed 2 people, then we have almost taken down the next Plasma Griffin too. And I really like firing with the Patton Magnums there. This is really a lot of firepower and a lot of fun to use. The only problem I have is that this Patton he is too slow. And that makes it hard to actually get into the situation. Like I said in the beginning, you want to get, if you were really fast with a Patton, you could enforce this encounter. You could run around the corner, you can hide, you can just come out when you know it's safe and then fire and oops, it's not safe anymore, so let's go back and cover. That's something you can't really do with the with the Magnum Patton, because it's just too slow. The moment you expose yourself to fire on somebody, there's like a 90% chance they will be firing back at you. And if you're running around the corner to just get somebody, there's a 50% chance you already catch some Orcans in the face, right, while walking around the corner. So that's something that, for example, the Rogatka has much better with its Terrans. It's very mobile. It can jump over, back into cover, and you know, do all these things. Although the firepower isn't quite as impressive, and I think the hit points are somewhere similar. The Patton doesn't have too little, I think the amount of hit points the Patton has is quite okay for its little size, right? It's a small bot, right? It's a medium, I think it's declared as a medium bot. Oh, we've been hit by the shock train, I've seen it. This guy over there is firing shock trains. He's taking like 4,000, 5,000 health of my bot, I think. And, But yeah, what I was gonna say is I think the amount of hit points the Patton has is quite okay. It's just that the mobility is so low. But maybe that's what they wanted, right? Otherwise, you could just run around really fast with 4 aphids and just fire them all the time. This is something that the Jesse can do, but in order to do that, you have to switch. You can't just fire all 4 aphids all the time, right? And if you try to use Magnums on a Jesse, that doesn't work, because they fire all the time, they have no reload. So it's like the most useless setup in the universe to, to have Magnums on the Jesse, right? 4 of them, I mean. But you could have 2 aphids and 2 Magnums. So this is the last sequence right here, just me, being allowed to fire a little bit on those guys down there. I hope you like this this Magnum Patton viewer request video. I'm gonna make some of those videos more often. You can also use this video here to write down your comments what you want to see next. I don't promise it's gonna be that thing, but I'm gonna rate those comments and see what comes up very often, and then we're gonna try to use that because that's what the Battle Rec account is for. So in this spirit, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for watching, see you guys around, and have a good one. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.